She Luci Tapahonso dashne. Twodik ojen shledo. Twodik eatni bashichin. Dash cheatni dashiche do kently cheatni dashanale. Not ani ne sent you see nasha. Ukut out net san shle. Good morning. My name's Luci Tapahonso, and I just shared with you my plans and the fact that I'm from Shiprock, New Mexico, and am now in Santa Fe at Yottwa. I want to express my appreciation to the Bosque Redondo Memorial Foundation for sponsoring this fellowship, which allows me to write and to reflect and commemorate the long walk which took place in the 1800s. I'd like to share some things with you this morning about writing and how I approach my writing. There's different ways of being creative that go into writing, and some of these are weaving, drawing, keeping a journal, meditating, and reading, reading poetry of other people and sort of immersing myself in that. I really appreciate the opportunity to just take hours and days to write, which is really what goes into a poem. It's a lot of time and revising and new ideas that come along as you're creating a work. So I'll show you around my office and some of the things that go into writing for me. It snowed last night and it's really pretty outside. This is outside of my office, and you can see the Jemez Mountains way back there. We're on the homeland of the Tiwas, and I'm so grateful to be in such a beautiful place, the land of our relatives. It's really inspiring to have these views year-round and see how the trees change and the weather change and all the different shrubs and bushes out here. The changes they go through over the seasons. So inside my office, I'll back up a bit here. This is my typewriter, the first typewriter I ever bought, probably in my early 20s. And my grandchildren say that it was like the first laptop. And I guess that's true. It came in a little case, and at that time I was a stringer for newspapers, and I would take around my little black case and write news stories. So I just like to keep it there to remind me of just what it was like when I started writing, and just the kind of sacrifices one had to make, because that typewriter at that time was not inexpensive for me. Then going this way, there's a picture of my home, Shiprock. And then here's one of the rugs or the looms I'm working on. I really enjoy it, and it fits in really well. Aside from weaving, I also like to draw. These are some things I've done just for myself. I just enjoy it. Another way of thinking about poetry for me is to use a kind of a scrapbook style. So here's an example. This is a page that I made to honor my mother. So you can see this is a picture of her when she was a young woman. These are pictures when we were children with my mom and dad, and then one of me and my mother. It's interspersed with poetry, and then a pouch of pollen, and just a little twig from a tree, pine tree. So these are nice way to honor people, and I've made these kind of collages for people on their birthdays or for Christmas, and just take pictures of them and commemorate important events in their life in a creative way. So that's one of the things I like to do as well. I also like to draw. So here's my little cart of drawing stuff. And I have a corner over here where I have my easel and, just my drawing things. This is a charcoal drawing I did last spring. And, yeah, so I just enjoy that. One of the ways that I like to write is to write keywords on these big post-it pads and put them on the wall. I find that that visual component is really conducive to my process of writing. So like with poems, this is how I kind of start. And this is really good for fixed form. This is a sestina here. So it has it's a poem that has 6 stanzas. And then each stanza consists of 6 lines. And then each line has particular words at the end. So you can see Elinago and Algehi, and these are the words that are at the end of the lines, and they repeat in a specific order throughout the whole poem. For instance, see right here, you can see ancestors, and it's the last word in this line, in this stanza, and then on the next stanza, it's the last word in the first line. So, and here again, we have loss and loss. So it helps me just kind of see where words are going to go, and then find maybe other words that will work just as well. I really like writing in Navajo and English. It's just like more possibilities for writing this kind of a poem. Here's the bookcase that's here in my office. There's other ones throughout the house, but this is the one in here. I really like these journals. I've been doing bullet journaling for maybe 3 or 4 years. So these are the ones that are completed. And then these are waiting. So I'm anxious to get to those. I just love what, the different parts of bullet journaling, and I'll show you in a bit. Here's another loom, and as with many things in Navajo culture, there's stories that go along with what seems like ordinary things. So with this one, the top of the loom here represents our Father, the sky. These are lightning bolts. And then the bottom is our mother, Nasa, like the foundation of everything we do and the way that we are strengthened or supported. This side of the loom represents the female, and then this side represents the male. This top represents the head represents the male, and then this pool one represents the female or the woman, and then this is like sheets of rain here. So that's an abbreviated story of how what the loom means. And so when one is weaving, then you're kind of within that whole universe of meaning, and in a way it provides you with support and creativity, and then it helps you to kind of meditate on what your culture means, what the beliefs are, and also to pray. So it's like something you just, once you start, it's just like this space you go into that's really, really nice. And the weaving was a way that, or is a way that Navajo people have sustained themselves over the centuries. It was given to us by Spider Woman, who believed that women should be able to contribute to their families equally, and not depend on the men. So that's the short story behind it. And then here is my weaving stuff here. And then this is the bullet journal. So let me just show you this very quickly. I really love this. So you can do all kinds of things. It's a planner. So here's this is the front of it. There's the monthly calendar, and then I do a weekly planner. So this is like you can combine drawing, and then I like to keep mementos of places that we've been, and then each week it's a different kind of layout. So it's just kind of fun. I really recommend this if you are so inclined. It's just a really nice way. So the front is the planner, and then in the back is a journal, which I write every day. So I write back here, and then just like details in the back of the journal. Business stuff go away at the back, so that's what's back here. So this is the one I'm currently in. So this is this week's. So it's kind of combining like scrapbook and just being creative in another way. So I just I just kind of really like that. And here's my writing implements for journaling. I also want to just touch upon what goes into for me writing a poem. So I begin by writing on a pad, and usually pencil, but sometimes pen. So this is like some examples of what it looks like when I start. So I begin like that with just writing on notebook paper, and then eventually printing it out, and then editing it, and then revising it. So here's I guess a better examples. The writing it, and then editing it and revising, and then the final version of the poem. So that's what, for me, that's what goes into writing. And as I said, it takes a long time. It takes hardly ever just comes together all at once. It's a process. So I want to end this with another view of the mountains over there. We Navajos like to do things in a circular motion. So that's why I want to end with this one too. I also, want to, it reminds me of, to look at the mountains that surround us, of our own strength, because in Navajo, mountain is Tzith, but also the word for strength or to be strong is Tzil. So it's derived from a mountain, the word mountain. And so to be surrounded by mountains offers a source of strength and stability to whatever it is that one does. So I'll end here with this then. Yeah.